Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phay, and welcome to the channel. You know, I heard the guy that invented the Ferris wheel never met the guy that invented the merry-go-round. They traveled in different circles. Today, we're taking a look at Eternal Palace from Alley Cat Games. Now, this is a highly interactive dice placement Euro style game. Now, I really like dice placement games. They've always been one of my favorites to play. So, I was excited when my buddy Chris brought this over for me to take a look at. So, I'll tell you what, let's go down to the table. Let's open this one up and let's see what's on the inside. All right, folks, here we go. This is Eternal Palace. Now, it looks like by Stephen Armani, and illustrations are going to be by Quentin Rignis. I hope I got that last name right. Now, this is for ages 14 and up, 1 to 5 players. You're looking at 60 to 90 minutes to play this game, and it is from Alley Cat Games. Okay, now, what do we have back here? This is a highly interactive dice placement Euro for 1 to 5 players. You're assigning workers represented by dice, so locations based on their combined values. And I really like dice placement games, and Alley Cat does a great job at them. So I can't wait to see what is inside this box and how it plays. So let's get this thing opened up. All right. Okay. See what kind of artwork is too, because I know Alley Cat's got some great artwork on their stuff, and I really like this cover. That cover is just some gorgeous looking artwork. Now, let's see. Get that box opened up. Get them off to the side. And it looks like we're going to start off with a nice big rule book right here. Let's see, I'm going to move this off the side, give me a little more room, because we have a 24-page book that looks like it is probably not going to fit on my screen. So I'm going to be sliding this thing around as we're looking at it. Okay, so this is going to be our main contents right here. It looks like we're going to have a long board rather than the wide board. All right, no problems there. That's all right. A painting insert, interesting. And look at that. Ooh, and some deluxe components inside of this one as well. Very cool. All right, let's see what we have. All right, well, it looks like actually we can get the majority of it in there. So we'll just see what we have over here. So we got our expansion modules. Looks like they come in this game. Nice full illustration for our setup. Always good there. A little aim of the game, role, plan, play, how we're going to play it. Okay. You know, and I'll tell you what, so this rule book, the text, really good size, easy to read, lots of illustrations. Okay. End of the games right here. We got our advisors information. So we're only 10 pages in for the rules. Not bad at all. And now we're going to get into like all our expansion module information. So not a lot of rules. It looks like it's going to be relatively easy to learn. Alley Cat Games is pretty good about their stuff. Anyways, the rule books have been pretty decent. I have not had a problem with them. All right, still got, looks like expansion stuff. And then the master. All right, here's your solo mode right there, which is actually really cool. Okay, and then of course your aim, how to play, what you're gonna do, and then you enter the game and playing solo with expansion modules. So there's a little more information if you want to add those. Okay, and this is just gonna be your rules reference. So your roll, plan, play, and restore. Rinse and repeat, there you go. I like the look of that rule book. It looks really nice. It's nice and large. Should be really easy to see everything. And it looks like it's gonna be pretty easy to figure out. All right, so what do we have here? It looks like, almost looks like we're gonna have some player screens. Okay, let's get these opened up. See what kind of artwork we have in these. I like me some nice player screens. Okay, so there we go. So there's going to be what our screen's going to look like based on your color. I'm going to guess. So we got what, purple, green, yellow, and blue. Those are going to be our main colors in the game. All right. Now this is Chris, so we'll throw those all right back in there so those things don't get damaged. Thanks again, Chris, for letting me do this. All right, now let's take a look at what we have on our punch boards. First, we got to figure out how to open these punch boards. All right, I always like it when they wrap punch boards. Don't ask me why. When the pieces fall off, they just kind of don't go flying all over the place. All right, so it looks like we're going to be building something with these, okay? I can definitely see we're going to be punching these out. Let's give it a punch test real fast. Okay, so it looks like those are going to come out pretty good. You can see where you always have those hang up just a little bit, but we're going to be good there. So we'll just look at these tokens here. Okay, they punch really good. We got a good thickness on them. Okay, they feel good. So we shouldn't have a problem with our tokens and our counters. All right, now let's take a look at this board. Okay, looks like, oh, this is probably a little painting piece that we're going to have to put together, because you can definitely see where it looks like a little easel. Looks like every player is going to have one of those little easels. Okay, there's your front and back. Yep, there's the rest of your player color ones. Okay, front and back of those definitely look like we have some hidden information, possibly on some of these tokens. All right, and then what do we have? Then we're going to have, oh, here's our player board. Okay, so that's all we have. So not a lot of tokens are going to be going in this game. Let's move this off to the side because I want to pull this board out. Now this is a top to bottom board, so it's going to be, I'm going to probably have to show you this one sideways unless we can get it all in here. Yep. Okay, so let's do it like this. My tripod's in the way. Will it fit through? No, it won't. Sorry. All right, we're going to have to do it like this. So it looks like in the top, looks like we're going to have a little rondelle up here of some kind. I'm not really sure what this is going to be for. Some of our towels are probably going to go here. And I'm guessing this is going to be a lot of different, maybe some worker placement areas. Okay. Because I know what are we drafting and we're placing. But yeah, looks really, really interesting. I love the artwork on this board. Okay. Looks absolutely fantastic. There's a closer up look at that too. Just take a look at that. Okay. I really like the look of this. The illustrator of this just did a phenomenal job. See the guy fishing off his little boat right there? It's awesome. Okay, back to this. This is what you guys are here for. All right, so it looks like we're going to have this nice little insert. Okay, now looks like we got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know what all these letters and stuff stand for, but everything's gonna. It's like we're gonna have some stuff digging down in there. All right, little slots for. We'll see how everything goes in there, but it looks really nice. Looks like it's going to hold everything really good. And this is pretty, I mean, this is thicker plastic. It's not that really thin stuff either. So really nice. I love the way that feels. Now, looks like we're going to have a lot of wooden components in this game. And I think this is some of the weight of this comes in. So there's some your chunky little wood bits. Okay, those, they look and feel really good. Nothing's really stuck together, which means I let them dry pretty good before they stuck them in the bag. Okay, and what else do we have? I don't know what all the different pieces parts are. We don't need to pull them all out, but yeah, we'll just take a look at those. Very cool. Okay. What do we got? We got a bunch of dice. Can't have a dice drafting game or a dice placement game without having dice, right? Okay, and there you go. This is a really, really unique color right there. That is really cool looking. I do like that. And these dice feel really good. They're shiny. They got some weight to them, so they're not super light. So if you like your heavier dice, yeah, these ones feel really good. All the pips are clear on them, so I don't see where there's like any missed markings on those. Sometimes we'll get those dice in with bad markings. I'm going to put this in here just to make sure everything stays not falling down where it goes, where it's not supposed to go. All right, we got, looks like, I'm not really sure what those are. All right. But yeah, just more wooden components, a lot of wooden components. All right, we're gonna have a lot of discs. I'm guessing I saw a lot of circle spots on the board. So my guess is gonna be, you're gonna be, as you claim areas and whatnot, you're just gonna be placing some of your wooden discs down. Okay, tell you what, components, really good. I have no complaints with any of these components. All right, and there you go. Not sure, little, not clay or anything. I don't know what those are. I don't know what the wood bits are representing, but they look good. Okay, we're gonna have a deck of cards, and then we're gonna have these, whatever these are. Interesting. Okay, I am really super intrigued at what this stuff is now. All right, let's get this first bag open. Okay. Now, I wonder if are these going to be going in here? I don't know. But what's interesting, okay, is, well, let me get this on the screen. Sorry. Woo! I'm so fascinated by this and I'm all over the place. So what it looks like is you're building this, it's like this landscape that you're slowly kind of piecing together is what these are. So now we got these little pieces that are going to come down in here as well. So I think this tray is supposed to, is it going to hold all of these different pieces? So you can kind of see how these are building out landscapes and whatnot. All right. This is truly fascinating. Okay. All right. I think I'm only going to show you this one. I'm going to let you guys experiment with the other one. You guys get a look at the other one and how it goes together. So are you like drafting some of these pieces, or are we just kind of putting them all out on the table and you're figuring out which ones you want to build and which ones you want to do? I don't know, because it looks like there's a bunch of these. Okay. Let's see. We'll look at the outside of those other bags. Let's put this one here. I definitely don't want to lose any of these. It's going to take a little, they all go in there. It's going to take a little bit to piece those in there. All right. But if we look at this, you'll be able to actually see what I'm talking about and try to keep that glare out of there. But you can kind of see how thick that is. There are a lot of these little cutouts that are going to go in there. So you have all these different mountain ranges and everything else. That is absolutely cool. And then here it looks like we're going to have a lot of different streams, little landscapes and whatnot. There's going to be a lot. There is a huge variety. And yeah, like I said, because when you look at the sizes, I think what they're going to do is you're going to just fill them down in here and you're going to just build it all up and they're all going to lay flat inside of this. That's my theory on how all that's going to work. Okay, so we'll end up eventually getting these out of these bags and transferring them over to this. Okay, so let's put these right here. Well, that is cool. I love the look of that. I'm intrigued and I want to play this game just because of that alone. I want to see how that plays out and how that builds up. I really like unique things like that. And I can't seem to get that piece to open this. So let's get this in here. All right. Let's get this deck of cards opened up and let's see what we're going to have inside of here. Okay, now let's look at the backs. If there is a backside to these cards, yeah. So we're going to have a couple different styles of cards. All right, so that's going to be all one style of card. We'll put those off to the side. All right, let's see what these are right here. I have zero clue what that is. No clue whatsoever. But as you can see, they are a little bit different. I'm not sure. It looks like they're kind of go together and do like this little path thing. Wow. I don't know. I'm so intrigued by this. Okay, now we're going to have the backside of these ones. All right, so looks like, I tell you, man, I'm just at a loss for, maybe this is what you're going to collect. It's like a little drafting thing and you get to collect, you're going to get these colored dice or something like that. Based on what the cube is, I don't know. Really interesting. I don't know what the symbols down there are. They represent different places on the game board. I have no idea, but they look cool. I mean, the artwork. I think the artwork looks fascinating. There's a couple of games that kind of remind me of like Fresco and different stuff like that. Kind of gives me that feel like those. So okay, now let's take a look at these cards. Now it looks like we're going to have. I don't know if every player is going to have their own set of cards, because it looks like we're going to. Probably not. You're just going to have the same. Different artwork on them. Okay, all right. Well, let's go through these and let's see what we got. All right, see, there's more of those fish and stuff that like we saw like on the little traveling thing. Maybe that one, those little 3 things were for like the solo game too. I don't know. I'm super intrigued about all this though. All right. So yeah, so it just looks like you're basically trying to maybe spend some resources, getting some of these folks to help you do different things. You know, you get X number of something and you're going to get something. Well, X number of something. And this is a highly detailed and sophisticated game here. Okay. But yeah, this looks really fascinating. It looks really interesting. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm kind of wanting to play what I'm seeing. And it almost looks like I'm seeing some duplicates in here with maybe, I don't know. I can't really tell, but all right, there we go. But that's it. That is all the stuff we're going to see inside of this one. So let's get these cards put back down in here. We're going to get all this stuff taken care of here in a little bit. All right, let's get all of our dice placed back in. We got all these wood bits and chunky things we got to put together. Now, the nice thing is I can kind of fill some stuff in this spot right there. That's going to keep all those cards from moving. Okay, until we can go through and get all those properly bagged and secured and whatnot. So we have those there. I do have these 3 little tokens that we did pull out. We'll put those right there, and I know we're going to find those. That's easy peasy on those. Okay, let's get our game board in there. It's nice and flat. Once we punch these, there's a chance these inserts are going to go underneath on the backside, and that's going to help lift this thing up because we don't want any lid lift when we're done. Okay, we want everything nice and tight and flush with the top. And at least that's the way I like it. All right, and there we go. Really fascinating, really cool looking game. I want to look at one more thing real fast because yeah, looking on this back side, looks like you're secretly grouping your dice down below, and it looks like you're building. You got your little easel, and you're building up your little landscapes, and you're doing different things. Man, I'll tell you what, I want to play this game. This thing looks fascinating. Eternal Palace. You know what? I think I didn't even know about this one, but this game just looks amazing to me. It absolutely does. I can't wait to get this one on the table. So, all right, let's head back up top and let's close this out. Well, there you go, folks. That is Internal Palace by Alley Cat Games. And I got to tell you, this game looks absolutely amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh. Because basically, like I said, you're assigning workers, you're combining values of dice to even assign them that direction. You're basically rebuilding monuments and gathering painting pieces for your masterpiece. And I really like the way all those pieces look. And it's gonna be cool when we get them in that tray and set them all up, because being able to put your easel down and say, yeah, I'm going to build, here's a mountain range and here's the sky back in, and I'm going to put like this little river down here and all this other stuff, and you're building those up and how you're gathering the resources. With this game, it just looks fascinating and it looks fun. I really want to play this game, and I cannot wait to get this one to the table. Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you once again for joining me today. As always, I please ask you to like this video on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, or even on X. Please leave me a comment on any one of those platforms, and I'll get to those comments just as soon as I can. And also, folks, if you like the videos that I do here, if you haven't done so already, I humbly ask you click on that subscription button and even click on the bell and be notified when I drop new videos. And also, folks, if you like the videos I do here, I also post videos over on the Discriminating Gamers channel. Over there, I'll do some unboxings, we'll do some playthroughs and some reviews. I'll leave a link to Cody's channel down in the details below. You know, my boss asked me why I'm always sick on work days. I told him it must be my weakened immune system.